Glass Staircase is a game that sets out to recapture the gameplay and moody atmosphere of survival horror classics like Resident Evil, Silent Hill, and Clock Tower. Does it meet these lofty goals? Let's take a look. The year is 1996, and this mysterious new game has just come out. You take a look at the back of the box and you see that the graphics look absolutely phenomenal. It has some crazy-looking guy on the front cover. He's making some facial expression that no human being should ever make. You pop open the lid of your PS1 and start to play the game in a room only lit by the glow of your CRT TV. You try to familiarize yourself with the game's wonky controls. After you think you just might have it figured out, you get to this scene. At this point, you start crying, you quickly turn off the system, and you run as fast as you can to go find your parents. At least that's what you would have done if you were 7-year-old me. I did eventually muster up the courage to play Resident Evil again. Only this time, I left the lights on. What I found was an intense experience filled with a terrifying story, exploration, puzzle solving, and strategic combat. And so began my love of survival horror. Let's fast forward to 2019, and now we have The Glass Staircase, a brand new take on a classic survival horror formula. And don't worry, the tank controls are optional this time around. At first glance, the game definitely looks the part. From the campy B-movie title screen to the darkest corridors of the mansion's basement, you'll feel like you're playing some forgotten entry into your favorite horror series. The blurry visuals and the heavy Silent Hill-style fog immediately bring back memories of the past. The default graphics option of the game is called Survival Horror. It achieves the retro look by using a screen filter. If retro isn't your thing, the game offers an HD remaster mode. It makes everything look crisp and clear. The game follows the story of 4 estranged girls who are trapped in what appears to be some sort of psychiatric ward or orphanage. A voice broadcasts over the PA system at the start of each morning, selecting one of the girls to complete a task for that day. Without going too far into spoiler territory, each girl will have to exit their room one by one and explore the mansion and its surrounding grounds, with the hope of eventually being set free. An impending feeling of dread builds higher and higher as time passes on. Just like many older horror games, the fixed camera angles add a sense of claustrophobia and uncertainty to the gloomy world. The game is genuinely creepy. The sound design is standard fare for this type of game. Environmental sounds like howling winds, rain, and ominous creaks of the mansion will be ever present. It's when the silence sets in that you really have to start to worry. The Glass Staircase can be completed in just under 2 hours. This may be a turnoff for some people, but I felt that the length was perfect. Just like any good horror film, The Glass Staircase is a slow burn. You won't even enter combat until you are well past the halfway point of the game. My only complaint is that the fixed camera can be a bit much. Like for example, this part here. It's a simple courtyard area, but it has what, 9 or 10 different camera angles? It's kinda over the top for my taste. The camera placement in this area, and in a few of the tight corridor sections later in the game, left me a bit confused. Occasional camera issues aside, I really did enjoy my time with The Glass Staircase. It helped to remind me of why I love survival horror games in the first place, and just what made the older games so good. Obviously the game is not nearly as deep as something like, say, Resident Evil or Silent Hill, but it doesn't need to be. It's kind of like a survival horror light, and that's okay. Is this game for you? Well, that depends. If you enjoyed any of the games from the golden age of survival horror, then absolutely yes. Go pick it up at Puppet Combo's site for only $6. Just don't go in with the expectation of an incredibly deep game. But if those games from the past didn't do it for you, then this one isn't going to either. If you're looking to hop into the genre for the first time, I'd recommend visiting one of the games that this one takes its cues from first. What are some of your favorite survival horror games? What did you think of this one? And what are your thoughts on this ending? I'm still scratching my head. Thanks for watching, and see you next week.
Game.